Hello, my name is Rinon and welcome to my guide for the savage version of the 6th Circle of Pandemonium. This fight might hurt your brain, but I hope that this fight will do the opposite of hurting your chances at success. I believe all of these strategies are easily executable in Party Finder, and that the average group should be able to consistently get through them. Let's get started. Hegemony will open up the encounter with Himethos' Dark 4, which is a raid-wide damage that needs mitigating. Shortly after, the boss will use either Chelic Synergy or Synergy. Chelic Synergy is a 2-man shared tank buster which also cleaves. Synergy requires a tank swap and applies a bleed to both tanks. Next up, you are going to see the first cast of Etheric Polyaminoid. 2 plus-shaped squares will spawn on the arena, one somewhere on the left side and one somewhere on the right side. When these explode, they will cover all tiles in their path with an AoE, split into 2 light parties of 4 players, with each comprising of a tank, a healer and 2 DPS. Have one go to the left and one go to the right. If your plus spawns on the second column in, be just outside it on the outer column. If it spawns on the outer column, go on the inside column just a tad. AoEs are going to spawn and you will see 2 stack markers. As the pizza AoEs go off, move into them clockwise as a second set of untelegraphed AoEs will appear in the previous safe spots. Pathogenic Cells casts next. I recommend having intercardinal 1 to 4 markers for this mechanic. All 8 players are going to receive dots on their head between 1 and 8. Remember your number. If you get a number between 1 and 4, go to the 1 to 4 markers. Players will be cleaved in order 1 by 1, leaving safe spots directly west and directly east. The 5 to 8 players will then stand in these safe spots, with 5 and 6 being between 1 and 2, and 7 and 8 being between 3 and 4. When 1 goes off, 5 moves in. When 2 goes off, 6 moves in. And then 7 and 8 do the exact same with 3 and 4. Next up, Ethereal Exchange will cast, followed by Exchange of Agonies. 3 players will be tethered together in pairs. It will always be a support player to a DPS, and players will either receive a stack marker, a donut marker, or an AoE marker above their head. The remaining 2 players will not be tethered, but will still receive markers. Donuts and stacks need to go to the middle, and AoEs need to go to the corners of the arena. There is a catch for this though. If you are tethered, you need to execute the marker on your partner's head, not on your own. I would assign quadrants of the arena to pairs for this mechanic, have 1 DPS and 1 support in each quadrant. Korosixo will also cast, which will cleave north and south followed by east-west, or vice versa depending on where the red orbs spawn on the boss's hitbox. Players need to account for this and stand just off center in their safe spot and then dodge into the zone that was just hit. A tank buster follows all of this, accompanied by raid damage. Next up, you will get Transmission, which will either give you a head parasite or a wing parasite. The head parasite will make you do a cleave in front of you when the timer expires, and the wing parasite will make you do a cleave behind you. Get back into your quadrants in pairs and have the ranged / healer of the pair stand outside the hitbox and the melee / tank inside. Korosixo will cast once again, and when you are positioned on the intercardinal at the safe spot, face either of the cardinals to your left or right. Your cleave will shoot safely away, and then you can dodge the second Korosixo hit. Polyaminoid Sigma is the next cast to worry about. 2 plus tiles and 2 cross tiles will spawn, with the tethers that show that they will soon be swapping places. Completely ignore the plus tiles, as they will only cover the outer tiles in the arena, leaving the middle 4 safe. Watch where the cross tiles will end up and which areas they will cleave. There should be exactly 1 tile from the middle 4 that will be safe, and make note of it but do not move there yet. Dark Dome will begin casting. At the end of the cast, a puddle will be dropped on the position of each player, so only after that cast ends can you move into the safe spot and complete the mechanic. Another Exchange of Agonies will take place once again. To prepare for this, have tanks and healers stack on the west side of the hitbox and DPS stack on the east side of the hitbox. 1 player on each side will get a stack marker and another will get an AoE marker chained together. Stacks will need to stay still, and AoEs are going to need to go clockwise to the north-south side of the room. Execute your partner's marker once more. Pizza indicators happen at the same time as this, so make sure to dodge into them once the initial hit has happened. This is all followed by a tank buster and a raid damage. Another Sigma will happen, causing the plus and X swapping floor tiles to spawn again, and you are going to want to split into your normal light parties once more, as 4-man stacks will appear on healers. Plus tiles will only cover the outer edges of the arena again, so you just need to watch the X tiles and see which 2 squares they leave safe. It is possible to fit both stacks in one tile if you want to. Dark Ashes will have an AoE marker spawn on each player and a Chorus IXO will accompany it. Remember how you dealt with transmission in your pairs? You can do the exact same again here, just remember to dodge into the safe spot after the first hit. Next up, you're going to need to deal with the first major set piece mechanic in P6S, Cachexia. Each player will receive 2 debuffs, Aetheronecrosis with a timer of 8, 12, 16 or 20, and either a green or purple debuff. First of all, purple snakes will go left, green wings will go right. When your Aetheronecrosis hits 0, you will take a large circular AoE around yourself, which will give you a 10-second vulnerability. At the end of the dual predation cast, the 2 closest targets will be hit by a large circle AoE from the boss. If you take these with a vuln, you will die. My recommendation for this is my group's Prog Strat, which is actually a slightly altered version of what you may recognise as Timer Strat. Players are set up like so: 20s north just inside the hitbox, 8 south, with 12s and 16s being a little on the north and south of west and east respectively. 20 gets hit by predation, then takes their magic vuln hit a few seconds later, and then they can shimmy to true north. 8 goes inside the hitbox and takes the second hit, and after they've taken their hit, they can shimmy over true south. This frees up tons of room for 12 and 16 to go in one after another and take their hits with 0 risk of overlap. All 8 players have then taken their hits. Once that has happened, you're going to swap to the other side of the arena for the cast of Terra Ixo. This is followed by a Tank Buster and a Raid Damage and another Polyaminoid cast. 2 X markers will spawn and soon they will cleave the room. This should leave 8 safe tiles for the large 8 circular AoEs that appear on players. Dealing with this is actually so easy. Each player only needs to look at exactly 2 tiles like so. One of these 2 tiles will be safe, so just find the one which does not have any cross aiming towards it and stand there. When the Dark Dome cast ends, make sure to move as it places an invisible puddle under each player. Another stack, donut and AoE ethereal exchange will occur, this time with a Chorus IXO. Deal with it the exact same way as before, but ensure to dodge into the safe spot after the first hit. Next up is more Polyaminoid Sigma, spawning 2 plus tiles in corners and 1 X tile in the middle arena. An X and a plus will soon tether and swap places. If the tether is short, the safe spots will be 2 squares away from the tethered plus. If the tether is long, the safe spots will be next to the tethered plus. Before you move to a safe spot, find both of them and wait in the middle. Chorus IXO will begin casting, removing one of the safe spots. Move to the other one, and then after the cleave, dodge into it. More Tank Busters and an AoE will follow. This is all followed by the second iteration of Cachexia. All players will get a purple or green debuff once more, and a snake or wing debuff, which is the front and back cleaves you saw earlier. Remember, purples go left, greens go right. 2 X's and 2 plus tiles will also spawn. Check whether it is X's or pluses in the middle. If pluses are in the middle, the 4 tiles diagonal of the untethered plus are safe. If X is in the middle, the 4 tiles diagonal of the tethered X are safe. When Terra Ixo cast begins, 2 players in each group will be tethered with a stack and an AoE marker. The 3-player stack should be in the north side safe spots, and the individual AoE should be in the south side safe spots. Once again, you carry out your partner's debuff if you are tethered. When the snake and wing debuffs expire, wings need to face the boss and snakes need to face away. This will successfully complete the mechanic. This next Polyaminoid are the last in the encounter. 2 plus and X tiles, 3 tiles in corner and 1 off corner. Find the 2 pluses and look at the 2 tiles diagonal of them. One of these 2 tiles is safe. Then find the tile which is not in a corner and choose which one of these 2 tiles is also safe from that hit. Dark Dome will also cast, so ensure you only move into the safe spot at the end of the cast. The final cast is next, which will spawn 2 pluses just like the start of the fight where you dodged in light parties. This time, however, there is also a Chorus IXO, so you can only use the inner safe spots and dodge the Chorus IXO there. This is all followed by another Tank Buster, a Raid Damage, and finally, in Rage. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I really hope this video was at least a little bit helpful for you. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and good luck with your progression for the rest of the tier.